Welcome to the SHAC Shack. Happy Monday. SHAC stands for safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. And so today we're going to be finishing up our leaves. I've got a little demo lined up for you. Now just hang out with some friends. Come on in, shut the door. It's freezing today. Plenty of seats over here. The kettle's just boiled. And let's have a really pleasant hour. That's all we're going to do. Let's just hang out together. Is anybody there? I know that Paul is in the room with you if you have any questions today, our Paul Church. And hopefully I'll be able to see someone. I'm ready when you are. I wonder if it's working. I do hope so. Paul, can you hear me? Or have I pressed the wrong button? Sound is nice and clear. Thank you. Good morning, Jane. That's it. Once I see one, then I know there are more of you. Good. Come on in. Let's get cracking, shall we? Well, let's chill. I'm a little bit tired today because we had a really busy TV show on Create and Craft yesterday. I don't know if any of you managed to watch. It was great, you know. It was really... I really love Janice as a presenter. She's a great presenter and a good friend. And I know the counter was jam-packed with so many arty, clarity products. But each and every one of them is excellent, you know, even if I say so myself. And those new masks are quite something. So I thought that perhaps we'd have a little look at those today as well. Yeah, so you know how it is. We got home, I think about 8 o'clock, just in time to watch the second half of the football. And yeah, result 3-0. You know, I don't know the first thing about football, but you got to cheer the boys along. You know, I can't remember the last time we got this far. I do remember, though, in 1966, which was the last time I think we won, and it was against the Germans. And so my mum and dad are obviously German English. And I remember we lived on a council estate in Aylesbury. I may have told you this story. And it must have been the final. So in 66, I would have been at 7 years old. And I remember thinking, ought to go home. And we'd been in the playground on the estate. And then as we were walking towards the house, I remember, you wouldn't forget it, would you? Every house, it was like the roof came off every single house in this estate. And I thought, oh no, what's happened? And it turns out that the English won. And the Germans still dispute it to this day. That's 66, that's 60 years later. Oh boy. Yeah, and when the Germans lost last week against when the Germans lost against the Japanese last week, my mum, Marion grüß dich. We've got German friends in the building too. My mum was absolutely devastated when the Germans lost. They got knocked out of the competition, and I'd missed it because I was really busy. And she said, yes, it was the Spaniards. I said, why are you playing the Spaniards? She says, no, the Japanese beat the Spaniards and then we got knocked out. And she said, and the Japanese are all in the Bundesliga. She's so funny. She's a scream. And she says, I don't know what to do now. I said, how about rooting for the English? You have lived here for 60 odd years, Mum. 63 years to be precise. I said, go on, cheer for the English. It won't do you any harm. But there we are. Such is life. Right. And so on to the French. Oh, mon Dieu. Yeah, well, you know what they say. May the best team win. That's what I say. Right, a cloudy Staffordshire. Good morning, Janine. Shall we get going? Let's have a look. We haven't got much to do today, so I thought we'll have a little chat, hang out, have a cup of tea, finish up our lovely leaves, because this is really where, you know, I don't know, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg. I was definitely, obviously, we were going to do masks on the TV, because that takes a long time to prepare. I can tell you, weeks and weeks. But then the leaves, you see, it's interesting because the leaves, they've been sort of sitting around for months. Lisa and I worked on those months ago. So last week I said, get them leaves out, Lisa. Get them leaves out, I said. Get them into production, would you please? Right. And so these we drew together, didn't we? Let's have a look. There you can see here, we just, well, the way we did it by drawing it was we drew it onto tracing paper, didn't we? So I drew it on that side, flipped it over, transferred the graphite, the pencil, didn't ink it up, which is why it's light there. And then we just concentrated on shading so that it looks like it's coming off the page. And the secret here is this bit. It's where the darker this bit is, the more it will lift. Okay, this bit, the darker that is, the more it will lift. And the longer that piece goes, darker that bit goes. See here, look, there, and there. So it will look like it's curling. So if you look at this one, not quite so much, is it? Look, check that one. Now let me move this one out of the way. See, and the only thing I've got to do is take my dark grey pencil and come down a little bit more with the grey here and cut across there a little bit more. Here, right? Let me see if it's better on the overhead. Here. I've got to be a little bit darker there. See the difference? But you only really get the effect when you're looking at it at an angle like that. Cool. So on Thursday, when we were looking at this, I took the liberty of using I was highlighting the fabulous landscape, the landscape masks, which was the whole purpose of the Sunday show, really. And so I actually used the apple one, didn't I, to draw around this one. So I used this to draw around. So that one you see there, that there is that there, and that there is that there. So all I did was draw around it. It's up to you whether you use the outside and draw on the inside, or you use the inside and draw around the outside. It's as long as it is tall, or whatever they say. Okay. The only thing that I would say, let me just grab this because it is a little bit of a delicate one. It is the delicate one, you know, and I did sort of say on television yesterday, go easy with this one because this is so flimsy, right? It will tear if you let it, if you pull too hard. See, so you've got sometimes they snag here. Do you know what? Top tip, if yours is snagging up one side, it just means that the machine cut it just a smidgen too far over. All you've got to do is just cut a sliver off that edge. Right, let me just show you what I mean. Let me see if this one's... Yeah, see how it's just caught a tiny little bit there, right? I could tear it, of course I can, but you could also just trim a sliver off that edge, like literally a sliver, and then you won't have any of that going on. Yeah, so this one here, for example, when they're new, they are quite, aren't they? So what I was going to suggest is you either put it on your jumper, this not so much, because this is a real felty, fluffy one. So possibly not so much. You like my new jumper? Well, it's not new. Do you know what? I've had this jumper since last year. And for some reason, because it's some sort of felty affair, right? I thought it'd be really itchy. It just felt, I don't know what was wrong with me. So I put it on this morning because I like the neckline. It's not itchy at all. I don't know what I was thinking. So you will be seeing a lot more of this jumper. I love this sort of neckline, like boat neck, is it? I just think it's really, it's just got, it's nice. It's just nice. It's not too close to the neck. It's not a polar neck, but it's elegant. Yeah. We're going to start setting a trend here. See, so that little tree there, that sits on there like that. And then I can go in with my pencil, with my HB pencil, like so, and I can draw inside there. right? And then I've got my shape, haven't I? And then the other one, see, so you can do it that way round, or you can do it the other way round. But what I would say is with these, travel gently with these apple trees, right? Because they are delicate. And they'll last you ages. I always think the older these get, the better. But you see, look, check this out. That's what you've got to look out for. See the little, tiny little trunks? See how they are so delicate? So it's a bit of a fiddle, you know. There is a reason why I didn't particularly want to do this one on TV. But among friends like you, I don't mind at all. See how it all sticks? But it's okay. You know, you're not doing anything wrong when this happens. You just got to make sure that you don't tear it. Like now, I've got it caught. Okay, so I just have to take it off there gently. Now, what's it stuck on? Stuck on the back there. See? So rather than tear at it, I've got to look at it and I've got to kind of just tease it off because this bit here has stuck to that bit there. But it's not terminal. It just means you've got to just tease it off there. See, if you rip, what do you think is going to happen? Guess. Exactly. So we don't want to rip it. There you are. So you've got that piece there. It's lovely, right? And again, you probably want to detack it, but not on your nice, expensive felt jumper. I'll maybe do it on my jeans. Hey, do it on my jeans. That's a better idea. See? And like I say, I find that these, they work better when they get a bit older. But they are I won't call them a consumable because you can use them again and again and again. But I do go through them because I use them a lot, you see. So let's have a look. So now I've got my trees detacked, see. So those two little ones. I mean, failing this, if you don't want to faff around with these two, just snip them there and there. But I like the challenge of keeping them together, see. So then I've got that one there and I can draw around the inside of that one. So I was just explaining, top tip, how you use the masks and where you, how you treat them, right? This one now, I'm almost tempted to put that on the back so that I don't fight its negative. There you go. That'll do. Much better. Okay. So we'll have a closer look at those later, but this is how we did this. And then this is quite straightforward, really. We're using a white pencil. And then I thought we could use some grey pencils. Here we go. The same ones that we used to do the depth, the shadow. Let's have a look. We'll just take some of these grey pencils and we'll highlight, shall we? Let's finish that. So first of all, the moon, right? Where did I get the moon from? Well, you could draw around a little coin or you can use the masks. I use the masks a lot, okay? God, you know, I have got a headache. A crowner, as they say. So we're gonna, let's have a look. Let's see if we can get a little bit more white laid down. Just trying to rough up that white, just in case it's, here we go. This is from the Pergoliners, this one. And this is also a Pergamano pencil. They're exactly the same. This part, isn't that there's no difference, but they discontinued these ones. I know. It's the way of the world. But it's the same. Only difference is this is longer. It's easier to hold. Oh, that's not bad. Also, what I was going to say, I know that we sell these individually. So if you're chomping through your white pencil and you think, well, I don't want to have to buy a whole tin of Pergoliners just to refill the white. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. We do have, don't we? We do have individual singles, don't we? Right. So now, let's have a look. Sharpener. So we're going to add a little bit of white. Nice. Are you getting festive yet? Are you feeling festive? Some and some, huh? Some and some. I know. I know. Well, yesterday was the last TV show for me for the year. Paul's back on again doing an ODS on Wednesday. And I think that'll be really cool to watch because he's so good with dyes. So he's going on with the club dyes, which are excellent. And then, yeah, then I think I'm off the hook, if you like. Still got a lot of work to do because we've got to move the factory for a start. There's a challenge. Dave and me and my brother. I think my brother, he's going to help as well. So, be all right. Right, but you can see how we're building this up. There, let's get some white in there. So all done with a white pencil. But we want to kind of keep this open here. Yeah? So just gently build that up. Now, let's have a look. I reckon that'll be nice. Okay, we've got a good start going here. Can always add more, can't you? Can always go in, add a bit more, provided you don't press too hard to start with. And even if you do, you know, you can always take a look at me. I've got some nibs here. You can always take a blending nib. Let's take a clean one. There we go. Stick that in there. And then you can smooth out the white with a blending nib. That'll look good, won't it? So if you're waiting on an order from the Grey Friday sale, please be patient. We're ploughing through them though. They're doing really well, the Clarity team. I mean, properly impressed I am. It takes time. It just takes time. You know, we design it, we make it, we clean it, we pack it. We do the inserts, we put the labels on. There's a lot involved. There's a lot involved. Every single thing. One of the worst things I dreamt up this year was these companion swatches. Well, I say the worst thing. It was like the best thing and the worst thing. The best thing because it was such a cool little packet, right? And these were these companion papers, and they're so cool, especially with those little bijou cards, right? But some poor soul has got to sit and count these. You know, I thought when we got them from the printers, they would come. Stupid girl for assuming anything. I thought they would come already. Oh no! So you got boxes, like you got boxes of purple, boxes of light purple, boxes of blue, boxes. The only thing they did do was tell us which pad it came from. So it's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ask Deb McMullin, ask my mum, ask me, ask Grace. Even Grace was doing it around the kitchen table when she came home. Yeah. So then we finally said, split the pack, split the bundle, take them off, because every time somebody bought the companion papers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is not cost effective because these were a present. They were a gift. I was like, really, there's generous and then there's just being a busy fool. So I said, split this quickly. But they are really good anyway. And they are on the website now. Now they cost money. I hope they do anyway. Yes, the pencils are available individually. Cool. Okay, So let's have a look at the grey. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We do everything for better or for worse. Let's take this one and let's add now, let's get some shade inside. So here, for example, over the top of the, let's get some shade so that the moon looks like it's behind the, yeah? Oh, look. Let's get that moon. So it's still got to be white, but we've got to just do a little bit of shading in there. That'll probably look nice. That'll work, won't it? And we could put a little bit of grey into the tree here, around this side. Like dark side of the moon, dark side of the tree. Here we go. So that'd be nice. Just accents, highlights and lowlights, hey? There we go. Let's get in there. I'm only using a light one. What's this one? Cold grey 3. Start with a cold grey or a light colour, put it that way. And then from there, we can see what we want to do. See, oh yeah, subtle. That's called not enough in other language. Have a look. This will look nice. Dark side on this side. Okay. So it's interesting to watch these things evolve. You know, we're always at Clarity. We never stop thinking about what ideas. You know, let's get some grey in here. Dave and myself, Jim, Jazz, Lisa. There are so many people. Paul, always thinking. There, that looks nice. See how it's tucking in now? It's coming a bit tighter. It's that creative mind, isn't it? Hey? And then you know what they say, learning. We never stop learning. Just because I'm in my 60s, you never stop learning. I think, well, I certainly don't. I don't know how it is for you, but I feel like it's, well, they say that, you know, learning, it's the fountain of youth, isn't it? If you keep your mind active, always thinking, deciphering, interested, you know, if your mind is engaged and always open to new things and you want to learn, and well, I mean, creativity is not necessarily only about music and art, is it? Or writing. You know, a creative mind is just that. A creative mind is a mind that is always active, always moving, always questioning, always investigating. We've talked about this before, you know. And the older you get, you know, like you and I now, you know, we're reaching, I'm not saying I'm over the hill at all. And I'm certainly not saying you are, right? But for example, we have to adapt, don't we? So now we have to sort of think about other ways. You know, I have to sort of reframe my creativity because there are things that I used to do that maybe I just don't have the energy for now, or the youth, you know. So I reframe it. I look again at what I'm doing. It's all right, you know, works for me. Dave is a classic example of what I'm talking about, right? Absolutely. He's my Dave now I'm talking about. So he, for example, he's a great musician, a bit of an unsung hero when it comes to music. Very, very talented guitarist, okay? And he's always, every day, as long as I've known him, he will disappear into his music area, into his den, and I'll hear him. And he doesn't play other people's music. He doesn't play covers. He plays his own music. He composes. Does he write it down? Nope. It's all up here. And I can say to him, do you remember that song when we first got together? 16 years ago now, right? Do you remember that beautiful song that you wrote about the autumn leaves come tumbling down and that. And he picks up the guitar, boom, and he remembers it. I said, why don't you record that somewhere? And he says, why do I need to? I said, well, it'd be such a shame. Not that you would forget it, but to lose it, because it's so perfect. It's so beautiful. The words are just immaculate, you know. But he's creative. He plays the guitar for other reasons than to record what he's doing. It's something much deeper than that. It's pure creativity. You know, I'll show you something else. I wanted to show you this. Yeah, this is so interesting. So he also likes turning wood. He calls it making sawdust. Yeah, so he makes. So he says to me, and we have this game. He comes indoors. He's been out in the garage. He's been turning a bit of wood. He says, "Right, close your eyes and open your hands." So I have to stand there like that. And then he puts something in my hands, and then I have to figure out what it is. You know. So this is, for example, and he says, "Oh, it's very rough," and he starts apologising about it or for it before I've even opened my eyes. You know, typical modest. So he said, "Oh, it's very rough. It's not very good. I was a little bit fast. Didn't take my time, but this is so cool. Watch. So this is a candle holder. There you go. You see, put a candle in there, but it's a double-ended one. Look. So it depends which candle have you got. You know, is it a wider one, got a bigger hole, see, or on that end it's a smaller, it's a tighter one. I love it. I think it's really cool, right? So last Friday he came in. He goes, "I've got to show you this." So what he does is same as me with pottery. I'm always studying YouTubes, watching the experts, right? Watching the masters. He's forever watching wood turners. It's as addictive as pottery. Okay. So he says, "Right, close your eyes, open your hands." I have to close my eyes and open my hands. So he puts this in my hands, which is a little bit phallic. I'm thinking, oh, this is weird. What have we here? Right? Smooth, smooth, smooth. Look, I'll show you. Right? Really smooth. I didn't even feel that there was a seam there. And he goes, "Take the lid off." Right? Wow. Okay. So he's made a lid that fits like a glove. Right? He says, "Oh, it's a bit rough, Starts apologising again. So he says, "Now it's your turn." Because he'd said to me, "I want you to make me some inkwells, some tiny ceramic inkwells." And he said, "And then I want to make a wooden pot for them. And then inside I want a little ceramic inkwell." I said, "Well, back at ya. It will be easier if you made the wooden holder and then I knew exactly what size you want the inkwell to be." Boom, back at me. Now I've got to make a ceramic inkwell. He says it needs to fit really snugly. So I thought, well, do you know, there is this element of shrinkage in ceramics, in pottery. So now this is my challenge. I've got to make a little inkwell to sit inside that. And that, my friend, is what I'm talking about when I say creativity. Isn't it super? I know. And I love that. So between the two of us, you know, we never stop. And it's the same at clarity. Now let's have a look. Darker colour. I wonder if I could go in with a slightly darker colour now. It's the same at clarity. You know, when we start bouncing off each other. Well, you know, all the cut card kits, for example, and yesterday, those envelopes, the little envelopes and the little bijou cards. Dave, he cuts all of that. He designs the die. He gets the die made. There's a die maker, an old boy in Tunbridge that makes them for us. And then he rigs up the big platen press, the big windmill, you know, the vintage thing. And then off he goes. And he's learnt that by himself. He's figured it out. You know, there is the quintessential inquiring mind. So what about you? Have you got one of those minds? I know Pat Hoskins has. I know Linda Williams has. I know Tina has, Tina Cox. I know Jane Telford. I know Tina Morrison. All these people, they are the same. They never stop. Aren't I right, Pat? Eh? Ken Kilminster, he's another one. So you see, birds of a feather always flock together, don't they? Right, so now we're adding a little bit of depth around here. Let's have a look. Yeah. See? Bit of depth, maybe a little tiny bit in there. Right, don't want to overcook it though, but it's looking good, isn't it? I love the fold here. There, you see a little bit more depth there. And the more you do that, the more intense that fold will get. See? It's nice, isn't it? Just hours and hours of play. And what's it for? I don't know. I don't know. Am I going to do anything with it? No. So often, don't you find it's the process? So now that one is the one that I need to, if I want to make this a little bit, look as if it's reaching, lifting, this is where I've got to put a little bit, I've got to be a bit braver on my line here, haven't I? Here we go. Just light feathery strokes. You've got to kind of step back and look at it and say, right, have I done enough? So yesterday on the TV, we did have a lot of gear on the telly, but we were trying so hard. Let me just pull this one out a little bit. We were trying so hard to go down and include all the artwork from the design team, give you ideas and tricks and tips and inspiration. Honestly, Janice and I were absolutely knackered by the end of it. And Paul, he was jumping around on the other side of the cameras. Paul always goes with me. He always, which is such a, you know, what a great friend, you know. He gives up his Sundays, drives as well. He does the driving. He does all the stock updates. He controls all that. Because I can't, see, that's the thing. As in the old days, I used to do both. I used to drive, used to go up there, used to set the stand up, you know, used to do it all. But I'm getting older and I have to accept I'm getting older and I have to know my limitation. Having said that though, even when I was in my 40s, all right, I remember often I would leave Create and Craft and I'd be so tired, you know, after the adrenaline rush, I'd be so tired, I'd have to go and take a nap at a service plaza. I couldn't get home. I was too tired to drive home, you know, so I'd have to go and put my head down in the car, just have a little power nap for half an hour. And then I'd be able, there's nothing worse than having to drive, you know, from 2.5 hours and your eyes keep closing, you know, and then your windows open, windows closed, freezing cold. Then you start singing, then you start screaming. That always woke you up. Yeah, that's fun. that's fun, you know. So Paul takes me now and it's a real luxury, you know. And then I get home and Dave's made a really lovely beef stew. And wait for this. I know you're going to say, are you kidding me? No, he made homemade pastry. We had homemade mince pies when I got home and ice cream. Oh no, I am a lucky girl. But like you said, well, you worked your arse off, which I did. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. I worked my derriere off. And he said, the least I can do is plate up for you. I thought that was really nice. So happy days. And then the English won. I mean, it don't get better than that. Right, what have we got here? Posca paint pen. It's white. We know it's white, but I bet this is whiter. It obviously shows really nicely. So now I'm not going to do any more, except I'm going to add some snow. Let me see. This is going to look so good. Here we go. Right. You got to know that you finish shading though. When you put this in, you can't be putting this in after and then think that you can go back in and start doing more shading, because it doesn't work very well. Here we go. Should we put some down here as well? So you could go all the way through, couldn't you? But I'm going to play it safe. I just wanted you to see that it's white pencil, but white Posca pen, different level of white, next level white. Yeah. So nice combination job, huh? Do you like that? I love it. There we go. And I think I'm done. If anything, I would possibly take, well, I know what I would do. I'd put an embedder around this, and then I'd probably put, because that will close it in a little bit. I think I'd use an embedder. Yeah, I would. Cool. They were one of them moments of clarity, weren't they? Hey, I know. Simplest ideas. And that all comes from the platen presses. Right. So we've done that. We've got the, what else do I want to show you? Yeah. So that's it now. That's it. I'm just trying to see. I'm sure I had, stay there a minute. I've got everything behind me here. Right, where did I put them then? I've always got, usually, I've got my embedders to hand. But anyway, I'm sure you're sick of watching me use the embedders. I was going to do something else now, right? Because I think this is lovely. And yes, I would put, I'd put the embedder around the outside, and then I'd probably put a nice sticker there, a nice Christmas one, you know, peace at Christmas. That's nice. Eh? Peace at Christmas. Peace at Christmas. Different sizes. Look, see? You are the tinsel on my tree now. A little bit too kitschy for this. Yeah, nice. You could put a very Merry Christmas up here. Look. And then, and a Happy Healthy New Year down there. That would look good too. But I wouldn't put these on until I'd done the embedding. And I can't do the embedding until that white Posca pen is completely dry, or I will be spitting feathers. Hey? So thus endeth that project, friends. And I thought, don't switch off though, don't go anywhere. Because I thought what I would do now is just for 20 minutes, I'm actually going to do the demo. I'm going to show you a little bit of behind the scenes, what goes into a TV demo. And then I'm going to do the one that's the tree, the leaf one with the, it's a leaf one with clouds in it. Do you fancy that? Yes. Well, that's what we're going to do. So I've been in here for a couple of hours in the art room, decanting everything again. And I made two decisions, right? So here, for example, behind me, all this lot, these are all the project, all the demos that I prepped for the TV. Normally, I dismantle it all, put it all away. That's the theory. And I thought, because yes, there was a bit of a scramble on TV. That's nobody's fault. It was just there was way too much going on. And we still got a lot done, actually. But I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pre-record, because we had discussed this. I'm going to pre-record some of those demos, like piano, you know, slowly. And then we'll put them on YouTube. And then that way you can see, you know, tricks and tips and take my time doing it. Yeah. So I thought, well, I won't dismantle them then. I'm just going to keep my nice jumper on. And if I've got any energy at the end of this, I'm going to have a couple of hours doing some pre-records. And then we can roll them out over Christmas while we're eating roast lamb. Right. So that's my job. Again, it's that you've got to have the energy to do it. It does require concentration. You know, I am on my own here. So it's cameras, lights. I'm in charge of it all. But that's all right, because I've learned how to do that. Necessity is the mother of invention. And during lockdown, this was the necessity if we were going to hang out together. And so I learned it. I learned how to use the cameras, how to manipulate the, you know, I know how to do it. And I want to learn how to edit video content. And I'm sure there's nothing but a little bit of time and tuition standing between me and success. There you go. That's what I think. A little bit of time, patience. Why can't I? What is it about me that says I can't do that? I haven't even tried yet. It can't be difficult. It can't be. It's just a question of figuring out the sequence. It's a process. Yeah. And there's bound to be 1,000 YouTubes on it anyway. So there you go. That's my challenge to myself. I'm going to learn how to edit video content. So let's have a look. I'll put that one to one side and let's have a look. I'll show you what, this is how a TV demo. There's loads of them and I always have spares just in case, right? So let's have a look. So I've got these boxes. oh so useful boxes. We've all got these. Come on, hands up. How many of us have got these? Hey? When we used to do the NEC, the guys that sell these, they used to be opposite us. And they used to come in and they used to be stacked out to the ceiling with these because, you know, £3 for one or something. Imagine how many they've got to sell. So they had like a juggernaut of these out the back and they just kept piling them in. I'd say, right, give us 20 before you run out. I need them now. And the queues, you know, and the women would be coming up with like stacks of them, and then it only cost like £20 or something. Anyway, oh so useful boxes. So what we've got here, right, I'm going to show you so you can see exactly right how it works. So this was obviously demo 4. That was demo 4 on the list. And then what I did, right, I make a list of what I need, right? Leaf mask set, stencil card cut to 5.75 inches, so I know exactly. Low tack masking tape, definitely need that. Spot on sponges, embedders, doodle dies, if we're gonna, that was an option, you know. Companion papers, perga glue. Right, so that was so that I know what I need. Always got one of those. This was the card that we're going to use, that we're going to make, right? So let's have a look. Do you fancy seeing how this one's made? Go on, say yes. So that's that one, right? So now I've got my bits. I've got my doodle bits as well, because I was thinking, see, I quite like it just plain with the embedder, but many people, they like a little bit more, you know, decoration. So that looks quite nice too, doesn't it? See, options, choices, choices, choices. I like that a lot instead of the embedder. This one's nice, but the size is right, but I think it's a bit too busy. It doesn't sort of sit right. This one, I love this one, but it's a little bit tight. Although I don't mind it, but it's a little bit tight. So it's that one for me. White on white, it's very classy. Nice, less is more. Right, so that's that. So I've got those in case I wanted to show you them, right? That's fine, got them in there. So you have to have all this prepped because you can't start going, now where's that? Oh, I'm sure it's here somewhere. You've got 5 seconds to locate it. And if you don't find it in 5 seconds, moving on. That's TV for you, that's shopping telly for you. And that 5-second rule is my rule, it's nobody else's. Right, so got a piece like that, that'll do. Now the next thing I need is the masks. So I've got those masks to do the inside, right? Look, this is typical. This is so excessive. Just in case I lose that, look, to be sure, and then again to be sure. So I've got these everywhere just in case. They're cut from a 7x7, right? So I've got that. Spot on sponges, embedders, low tack tape, leaf masks, all sorted. Look, I've even put it in a little bag so it doesn't go all over my artwork. And I need an ink pad, iced spruce, distress oxide. Okay, we are on. Are you up for this? Right, let's have a look. Because I'd spent ages doing this and then I didn't get to actually do it on telly. So let's check this out. First thing I need is a piece of the card. And I'm going to cut it. It's already been cut. I need it a bit smaller than that. Let's have a look. A bit smaller. Yeah, see? This is how it goes. And then all of a sudden, the show's gone wrong. There it is. Right. So I've got that one. And then I'm going to pick my leaf. Right, I've already prepared my leaf. So we've got nice ones. You've got an ivy leaf. You've got beech leaf, sycamore leaf, birch leaf. These are all good to use, you know. Really good. Got a maple leaf just in case I lose that maple leaf. And a holly leaf. Always got a backup, girls. Right. Now, so this has got to sit because I need this bit. Where's the inside, you asked? It's on the back. Okay. So that's going to sit on here, but I want it at a jaunty angle. Okay, like that. And I need it to be in the center because then the embedder. It's got to be accurate, hasn't it? Oh, I've got a little cat wants to come in. Stay there a minute. I know. He's still looking for his brother. I know. Eric's still at the vet's. Come on in then. I know, mate. Come and say hello to our friends then. Hmm? You all right? Oh, look at your filthy feet. Look at your filthy feet. Look who we've got here. Filthy feet. Oh, no, not my new jumper. I don't think so, buddy. Right. Here we go. You can sit on my chair, though. Go on. You love it here. Sit there. He's a creature of habit. That's where he wants to be. Okay. Are you there? Go on, sit down. I'm at a crucial point now. Go on. Go on. Where are you going to go? I know, it swivels. Right, come on. We won't have time otherwise. We've only got 20 minutes. Concentrate. Right, see if he helps. So we've got, don't jump up here, or we will have fun. So what we've got to do now is take this off here. Right, you ready? Right. Again, don't want to tear it. This is quite a big thing, isn't it? So what this is what I would do. I'll put it on the deck. Can you see that all right? You can see it, right? But then what I'm going to do is put this down on it, if you see what I mean. So how about if I take a piece of white copy paper, then you might see it better. Let's do that. Okay, so I'll pop that on there like that. And then I'll take my, this is a lot easier this way round. Okay, so if you look now, I can see just the tips. Can you see? I think I can anyway. Yeah, there, and there. That'll do. See? So you could just see the tips, but it's a lot easier to plant it. Now I know it's bang in the middle because of those edges there. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you, was how to get it in the right place. Tricks and tips, tricks and tips. So we've done that bit. Now, what we've got here is still part of the art. So what we want to do, really, while we're doing this, is just take some of that low-tack tape. Okay, we're cool with this. Is anyone still watching, or have you all cleared off? I won't blame you. But I think this is worth seeing. Because especially if you bought the masks yesterday, or you're interested in buying the masks. Hey? There we go. There. So we've protected all those bits. And now this is the aperture. So we've done that. There's the so that's the leaf mask in place. So the next thing I want to do is go back to the original and let's have a look. We need the cloud mask. So the cloud mask is in here and it is this one. There it is. So there's the cloud mask. You all right, cat? Ragnar, he misses his brother. Yeah, so his brother's still at the vet's, which is a little bit disconcerting. Now, let me just think, what am I doing here for a minute? Oh, yeah, I'm turning this around, right, because what I want to do is put the ink here in that bit. So I'm going to use this bit, and then I'm going to, right. Oh, hang on. Okay, so we've got that. So go gently. Right, this is what we're going to do now. We're going to start moving this around. Down we go. Okay, so we'll take that away. Now this is where it gets a little bit sticky because I'm working with pretty new masks. Okay, when they're brand new, they're pretty tacky. So let me take a piece of copy paper. That's not paper, is it? That's not paper. Let's take a piece of copy paper. Right, here we go. Let's just put this on here. Right. Because this is going to go, when you get plastic on plastic, you know, like I showed you earlier, it sticks quite a lot. So this one, right, we'll put it on our jeans again, or on our jumper, or whatever. Not right. Okay. That'll do. It will work. Right. It just stops it. He's all right. He's very clingy at the moment. Where's his twin? His identical twin brother has been at the vet now for a week, which is a little bit worrying. I should speak to him afterwards. I should start. Not the cat, the vet. Right, so what we're going to do now is start putting in, look, see, so I'm going to pop that down like that. And you just want to make sure that it comes off. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so I've detacked it. And no, don't use talc because you will completely detack it and then you won't be able to use it again. Right, spot on sponge, oxide, paper. Right, that'll do. Doesn't take long once you get going. Right, so you're going to make a kind of a ball like that. Okay, just hold it like that. In we go. Right, see, it's very wet. It's a new ink pad, newish anyway. So we don't want it to be too wet. So what we're going to do, if we want it to see if it's too wet, you can always add it, but you can't take it away. So we want it kind of dark up there, don't we? Okay, that's the first one. That'll work. Top tip. When you're doing this, right, if you don't move the mask and then try and put it back, it'll never work. It just doesn't, you know. So make sure you've got as much colour as you want before you do anything else. And when you lift, right, this one here, let me see if you can see it. See, it's got a really delicate, you lift out of it so that you don't, tear it, because it will tear. I've got one that I tore, so that's how I know to be careful, right? Let's have a look. I'll put this one now. I'm going to put one right across like that, but I'm avoiding that bit there, see? So I'll pop it right across like that. I reckon that'll look quite good. They're going to be different every time. You know, it's wherever you want to put it now. I don't have to copy what I've done. I just have to look at where I'd like to put the, see, that looks better. I think I'll pop one there like that. There you go. Let's put one there. Now, let's see. Don't want it to be so dark. So you're using the, get rid of the excess, and then you flick, right? So when you flick like this, you flick across, see? And you're lifting, as you flick across, you're sweeping in off the mask, and you get that lovely cloudy effect, right? I reckon that's enough. So let's have a look. We don't want it to be too dark. This is probably a little bit on the dark side. Yeah, it is. That's all right, though. We'll get there. Let's put another one down. Let's put one here. Right. I'm not re-inking. Let's see how much I've got on here. I can go in and fill in, see, with other ones. Right, I'm not re-inking. I'm just using what I've already got on my sponge. There you go. Flick, 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 flick. See, but I'm starting about there, not here. I'm down off the, seeing, because it's a smooth plastic. Works quite well, really. There you go. Flick, flick, flick. Then we'll lift this off again. See, gently does it. Nice, 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 nice. Then we'll come up this end. Let's do another bit. I reckon I'm going to put another one in there. So the difference, see, looks, you get a bit of difference, don't you? Now I probably need a little bit more ink. I'll probably get it off there, actually. Now let's see. See, don't want to make it too dark. Flick, flick, flick. So that's that bit there. If you want it to do, you're going to, if you think you might catch that there, just do that. That's what masking tape's born for. Right, there you go. So let's have a look. It's 10 to 11. Forgive my arm there in front of the camera. Okay. Right, let's have a look. Flick, flick. This would be nice. I do think these are a great investment. Let's have a look. What have we got going on this week? Well, Paul, our lovely. See, and the other thing is, you can have a look, and if you think, oh, I want a bit more, don't lift the whole thing off. Just keep it stuck down somewhere, and then you can always go in and add a bit more. See, like that. There. So I've defined that a bit better. Right. I think I want a little bit there as well, just a tiny bit, not loads. Don't need a lot of ink. Just that area there. And I know that I'll get a corner if I get to this side. So I just won't go that far. I'll just do that, like that. That'd be nice. See, the thing is, all of these masks, what's brilliant about these is that they're all, what do I want to do? I think I want to put another little tiny one in there. They're all long, you see, which means that you can use the same mask and just shuffle it around, right? So I'm using the same mask, but I'm shuffling it around within the leaf, okay? And it's just, it's not the same one again and again, even though it's the same strip. And that's the same for any of these, which is really cool. Let's have a look. Lisa's job, this was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, a bit meh, but that's good enough. Right, so now I think, to be honest, I don't think we need more than that. So let me find my carrier sheet. So it's worth keeping these safe. Let's have a look. Because, let's just pop that on there for a minute. So we're going to do the next bit now. So we'll put this one back. We've finished with that, I think. All right. So we'll pop that one in there like that. And now we're going to use the same one though to do the house and the hill. Look, see here. So now we'll come from the bottom and we'll go up. Let's do that. So we're going to take the one with the house. Here we go. Same colour. I'll lift this one off. And then we'll put the house. So now it's up to me where I want the hill to be and where I want the house to go. So I can put it up a bit higher. Do I want a hill in the background? Maybe. Maybe. Let's put it there. Oh, hang on a minute. Before I do that. It's only because it sticks more to itself, if you see what I mean. So let's do this. Oh, Cat's all right. He's happy. It's funny, since Eric's been at the vet, he's started coming in to sit with me every day when I'm working in here. It's quite rather nice, actually. I like it. Right, see? So I'm going to turn it like that to the house on the hill. Does this interest you, seeing these masks used like this? Right, this needs to be quite dark now, doesn't it? So I've gone quite high on that hill, but I think it'll be all right. Right, here we go. See, if you pound, it's dark. And then if you sweep, you get more of a cloudy effect. Right, so it's up to you. If you want depth, and it's obvious, if you sweep into the mask, the chances are you'll lift it, right? So it's always a good idea to sweep into the picture, right? And the spot-on sponges, I know you think, well, they're makeup sponges. Well, there's makeup sponges and there's makeup sponges. Wait, believe you me, because sometimes you get cheaper ones. I mean, these aren't expensive, but if you get cheaper ones, what happens is they crumble. I'm getting a bit of crumbling going on here, but I don't think it's the sponge. I don't know what it is. Right. The sky's falling down. Like, that'll do. So you can make it dark around the base like that. So we're using colour, but these look really nice. Black, like black silhouette at the front. If you use a black archival, it will stain your mask, but it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. I use it all the time. Right, there you go. That looks cool. And then I'm going to put one more hill in. So I could turn this around, see? There. What a cool hill that'll be. I reckon that is lovely. Right there, like that, over the top. So, like that. I certainly don't want that to be dark, though. This hill now. Okay? Because I don't want to lose the house. I reckon this will look lovely. So you could do this with a brush as well, couldn't you? one of the stencil brushes, but the makeup sponge, the spot on sponge, definitely gives you a better effect. Right, let's have a look. If I lift this off now, let's check where we're at. That looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. Right, so we've done that. Wait, hang on, that's sticking a bit. Okay, you just got to go gently with them. But honestly, pound for pound, hour for hour, I don't think there's anything quite as creative as this. We're on the subject of creativity. This is creative, you know, because all you're using is strips of different landscapes, you know, and then you just shuffle them along. Let me see if I can finish this up for you while we're working. There, so I've done that. Now I want to make sure though that the outside edge isn't white somewhere because it will be lost, you see. So what we'll do is, and I don't think I want to put too much, no, I've got enough on there to do this job. See where it's white there? So I'm going to sweep in from the side like that, and anywhere where I think, right, so I'm going to get a kind of a vignette. Let me put a little tiny bit on there. But I'm sweeping in, look how far away I am. I could go right over here and then just flick in. And I reckon this will give us a lovely, it's very simple really. There. Once you know how it works, that bit in there, see? That, if I don't put that in there like that, it will look as if there's a tear in the leaf, which isn't a bad thing. But right, let's see if this worked. Okay. So what else have we got on here? Before we take it away, we've got a little bit of black here. Right, so now that comes from a different stencil, as different, oh, where does that come from? I'll tell you where that comes from. Amazing, these stencils are, these masks. Just stay there a minute, because sometimes you just got to know where you're looking. And I know, right, because I know my masks. So this particular mask set, let me see if it's in here. I'm hoping it is because I was going to do a pre-record of this one. So this is this particular mask. What I'm looking for is these flowers here. So these ones, let's have a look. They are, see, I've put everything together ready. There, they're here. See, these bits. There's the deer bits. There's the children bits. That'll do. So I'll just show you how it works. So I'm kind of cutting across now, but if I want to put those flowers in, just that little hint of black across the bottom, then I need to do, if a job's worth doing, let's have a look. I've got one here. See if this isn't too, yeah, gently does it. These are really delicate. I've got a bit more. That'll do. There you go. Just tap that on. Look how delicate that is. This is an insane mask. But that, my friends, is exactly what you get when you sweep up to get the sky. This will be white. Pretty cool, okay? So let's have a look. I want to put some flowers in there. Just a few flowers or a bit of grass or something along the bottom. That'll do. Don't want too much. Bit of grass, that'll do. There and there. Okay. That'll do for now. Right, black ink pad, makeup sponge, spot on sponge. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Press that down so we know it's all in place. And then we're going to just see what we've got here. Now these ones, because they are so delicate, I'm going to pound, okay? Pounding. Do you remember when we did, I don't know if you were there for it, we did a craft along with the reflection. Oh, it was so cool with the little ducks. Oh, that worked so well. Right, so we've got the grass in front of the house. I might even put a little bit of depth in that sponge. See, so we got a bit of black going on. If you wanted to clean this, I'll show you. Let's see if we can clean it as well. Right, I reckon this is going to look cool. So a little bit of black. Let's take this away again. Should work. Look how sharp that is. There you go. So you've got a little bit of black in there. And I'm going to pop that on the back so that it doesn't keep catching on the other one. That'll do. Right, that's that. So I've done that. I've got my grass. Yeah, look, we're nearly there. So let's see, when we take this away, we'll lose that. We'll lose that. It's 11 o'clock, is it? That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad at all. See, if you enjoy this sort of demo, maybe every now and again when we're in the shack, if you fancy it, I could do something like this, you know? Because I know a lot of you like watching, don't you? It doesn't mean you have to do the job. Right, here we go. Look, look, isn't that pretty? Cool. Talk about, I love the reveal, don't you? Let's have a look. It's getting a bit tighter. Let's enjoy this one, right? Let's enjoy this reveal, shall we? Okay. And it's all done. This is what I love. It's done with a little bit of clever masking, an ink pad, and a makeup sponge. I mean, if that's not creative, then I don't know what is. Here we go. And the outside, to get that amazing 3D kind of effect, well, that, my friends, is what we've been doing in the shack for the last couple of weeks. So we don't have to do that again. Let me just pop this one down. Actually, I'll tell you what I want to do. I'll show you how to clean it if you feel inclined to clean it. But let's enjoy the artwork first. So let's take a look at what we've done. There, that's rather pretty, isn't it? Yeah? And then when you take that one, you can see the only difference here is I've used a little Posca pen art to just highlight the roof. And then, of course, we've got our 3D element there, haven't we? Which makes it look so flat, dimensional. And us shackers know exactly how to do that now, don't we? Okay. Cleaning. Let's have a look. This is easy. If you take, if you've got black on here and you don't want that on there, then what we can do is I use this, what's it called? Rubbing alcohol blending solution. Let me just find a paper towel, right? Because this is a permanent ink pad, a solvent-based ink pad, all I need, I use this with alcohol ink. This is just rubbing solution, if you like, right? And then you just put it on a bit of copy paper and sweep it in like this, look, and it will get rid of all that black gunge. If you feel you want to clean it, right? I mean, it's entirely up to you. I know that some of you really like to keep things clean. I get that. Right, there you go. That's clean. And then the other ink pad is just, it's on there too. You just can't see it because it's a grey colour. You just do that. Water would get rid of it as well. Water wouldn't get rid of the permanent one though. So we'll just wipe that through like that. I bet we've got a really, you watch, this will be a really neat leaf. So we'll take this off. And the art continues, look. Oh, you know that there's another picture in the making there. But with what the point was that we've got a really nice clean piece. And then we just need our, I think this is the, yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to pop that on there. It's always easier with a large piece like this to put it on from the back, flat, see? And then it's ready to be put back in its little storage. Wash. There you go. And that's it, my friends. So I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I think we did well. There you go. Not hard, is it? Once you break it down, it's not hard at all. Agreed? So there you go. Happy Monday. Have a great week. Don't forget, Paul's on tomorrow on Groovy Tuesday. And then he's back on television on Wednesday doing an ODS. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Let me just check. Ah, the Clarity Gnome Hunt is on. Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, two things I want to mention. first of all, the Clarity Gnome Hunt, we're on day 5. So it's quite easy to go back. Paul, perhaps you could just give our friends the link. It's fun, you know, and it's easy, and you could win a £200 Clarity hamper that you fill. That's a big prize. It's an anagram, it's clues. I wrote loads of little poems, you know, and you just, if you read the clues carefully, you should easily be able to find our little gnomes. They're sprinkled all over the website. So do look for that. And the other thing is that if you go to YouTube, okay, if you go to our Clarity Stamp YouTube channel and you subscribe, then if I'm not mistaken, whenever we come live here, you should get a notification, because what I'm hoping to do is start doing little live demos like that, perhaps more often. And if they're not live, they'll be recorded, and then you'll know that they're recorded. Barbara's recorded something on YouTube. So it might be worth hopping over to our YouTube channel and just subscribing if you want to know when we've done something new. Okay, that's all. We're not going to hound you or anything. It's just free tuition and lots of tricks and tips for creative people like you and me. All right, have a smashing week. I don't think I've forgotten anything, and if I have, well, there you go. What do you think? We'll be all right. Lots of love, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye now. And thanks, Paul.